It is 12 noon. Welcome in. This is Three Man Front right here on Jocks. We are live at Twin Peaks in Hoover. Come on by and see us. We'll be here until 2 o'clock. It's been a great first couple hours here at Twin Peaks. We talked to Wimp Sanderson, Mike Rodak. Later on, we'll have our Bet It or Forget It segment. Also, Kyle Parmalee from Starnes Media Landrum. He will join us as we'll talk some high school football coming up just a little bit later.
Yeah, in the middle of the high school slate, got some good ones, got some non-region games going on, region games going on. So as we progress, we say it every year, but it's hard to believe that we're at this point in the high school football season, but here for it, and before you know it, we're going to be halfway through the college football season.
We're also following the Ryder Cup, where the morning session, the Europeans got 3 points. The Americans only 1 point in the 4 matches. The President of the United States, he is now on the course. As a matter of fact, I'm sitting here looking at a video now, Landrum, of the President standing behind Bryson DeChambeau, who just hit a 340-yard drive with the President literally standing feet behind Bryson DeChambeau. So trying to pump up the Americans and try to have a better afternoon session as opposed to the morning session.
A little bit of a slow start, but if you follow the Ryder Cup, typically that is kind of what happens with the American side. So hopefully this afternoon, as you mentioned, it will go better, especially there at Bethpage Black.
Yes.
A lot of patriotic folks there in the gallery.
Very much so. And I saw this stat, and this is, you know how much a ticket costs for the Ryder Cup? Did you see this?
Ticket for the Ryder Cup, I'm going to say under $100.
General admission tickets, Friday through Sunday. Conrad, you want to take a guess?
Ooh, well, now Landrum's got me, I don't know, $75?
$62.
I'll say $80.
Okay. All attendees who got a ticket, you receive free food and non-alcoholic beverages for the first time.
Okay.
We remember the PGA of America, they did this at their PGA Championship.
Quail Hollow, right?
Yep, in which you did not get free alcohol, but you got free water, soda, things
Food.
like that. Right, okay? So with general admission tickets on Friday through Sunday, face value is $750 a ticket.
Oh.
I knew I shouldn't have trusted Landrum.
Wow.
The perk, obviously, of $750 is you have access to various market locations throughout the course where fans can walk through grab-and-go layouts and take drinks like water, Gatorade, and soda, food like burgers, hot dogs, and other sandwiches, and snacks like chips, pretzels, and cookies. There is no limit how many times individuals can visit any given market.
See, I went lower ticket price because it is this particular event, and they try to incentivize as many rowdy fans from the United States to attend. And you allow more of the blue-collar folks.
The upper echelon? Oh, you said that's
why
why you went lower.
The ticket, yeah.
Yeah, that's why you went lower.
That's the way I would do it.
Yeah.
But I guess they're in it to make money.
$750.
That's crazy.
At face value. Could you imagine what the secondary ticket market's going to be this weekend?
I don't know, but that is one that I've never really considered on my bucket list.
The Ryder
Cup? I don't know
Cup?
why, but yeah, I would pay that money to go watch that.
I would too. I'm not sure I'd pay $750.
I wouldn't, being honest.
I would. I think I'd do it up.
Plus you get free concessions.
Free concessions, yeah. I'm not worried about the alcohol. I'll just load up on sandwiches.
That's what my wife would call girl math, where it's like, well, you're really not spending that much because once you get there, everything's free.
Yeah, that is girl math.
It's 30.
She's taught you well.
But, babe, it's 30% off. Yeah. It was marked up 150%.
Still 30% off.
But it's 30% off. Look how much money I saved.
Bingo.
Raise your hand if you've heard that
That's
one.
it.
Girl math.
Yep.
All right, so we had James Franklin earlier this week. Franklin said that the whiteout game in Happy Valley, that's a bucket list for sports fans. Would you do Ryder Cup or a
Shut up.
a whiteout game at Happy Valley?
No, I would not. That
You would
that
not?
will not be. No. I'm good if I if I get to go to Happy Valley, that's great. That's wonderful. I'm not going to go out of my way to go to Happy Valley, which I hear is not easy to get to.
I've never been to Happy Valley, but I know a lot of Alabama people that have made the trip up there because if you remember back in the 80s, Alabama played, and then, of course, back when A.J. McCarron was the quarterback under Nick Saban, they played in Happy Valley. Had a great time.
Yeah.
Had a wonderful experience with the Penn State fans.
Yeah, I'm not going to put that on my bucket list. I would rather go and watch Washington play at their stadium. They're in Seattle.
Montlake.
Mm-hmm. I'd probably rather go to Autzen Stadium in Eugene.
See, I've always wanted to go to a whiteout. I think it'd be cool.
Has Nebraska ever played them with a whiteout? Do they only designate one game per year as a whiteout?
I think it's just one.
I didn't know if it was just a particular night game that they would.
I think I could be wrong, but I feel like it's just one.
Do you like being told what to wear?
For the game?
You going to be that fan?
No, I'm not wearing that.
You start winning football games, I'll wear what you want me to.
Okay. Back in 2002, Nebraska played Penn State in a whiteout game.
Okay.
Went back into the history books a
I
little bit.
assume Nebraska lost.
Yes.
Sorry.
Of course they did.
No, I mean, that's fair to assume.
I mean, but hey, for Nebraska to have the designation of being a part of the whiteout game,
we were part of history.
You're a part of history.
Yeah, that's big. That's huge.
Text line is open. We'd like to give you an opportunity, especially on Fridays and on Mondays. You can react on Mondays, but also on Fridays you can predict. You can throw out what you think your team's going to do. And here's the great thing about it. Nobody's wrong right now.
That's true.
Dylan firing in. Alabama's Ryan Williams will catch the last touchdown pass with 30 seconds left. Alabama wins 31-27.
There it is. 31-27. That's the magic number.
Marcus from Gulf Breeze, Florida. Thanks for listening on the app. Bama is going to roll 28-21.
Okay, a little lower scoring game.
Guys in Molly, I could see Alabama versus Georgia going many different ways, but I told you the game was a blowout, one-sided. Which team would y'all pick to win? If the game was a blowout, there's no way I can even imagine that. But
are they talking about between the hedges?
Yeah, I will go Georgia because they're playing at home.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'd lean that way.
Bug Guy has sent in his picks. He's got Georgia over Alabama 32-23, Auburn beating Texas A&M 36-29. He likes Ole Miss over LSU, Arkansas over Notre Dame, Penn State over Oregon, and Mountain Brook over Hoover. Is Mountain Brook playing Hoover?
They are playing Homewood.
Playing at Homewood. Okay.
Almost, Bug Guy. You almost got it. My buddy Steve from Tuscaloosa, it's the Saban system versus, the Kalen Loves and Hugs system. Georgia 48, Alabama 10.
Oh.
Wow.
Carefully crafted there, Steve. This one on the rumor of it maybe being a blackout in Athens tomorrow night. They're going to warm up in red and then run out in black. That's what I suggested. Mm-hmm. Don't know if that's happened. That has not been confirmed that I've seen. This one reads, Isaiah Horton and Kevin Riley are the keys to opening up the Alabama offense this year. This one from Tuscaloosa. I get that Ryan Williams is incredible, but you guys feel that he gives Bama superhero syndrome. Against ULM, it felt like the ball flew around the field to everyone, felt very fluid. Then Williams returns against Wisconsin, and all of a sudden we're designing plays for him to get his touches instead of just slinging it to whoever the open man is. Never really thought about it.
I mean, typically you draw up plays to get your best players the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just kind of smart
But
coaching.
I do understand the sentiment where I think that this listener is coming from. Whereas you don't want to forget some of those other guys because you don't think Kirby Smart, that defense, has – how many times have they watched Ryan Williams and his highlights from last year's game? You
No,
think they're going to try to take him away?
absolutely. I'll give that listener maybe a little bit of confidence. So if you go back to the Georgia game or the Wisconsin game, excuse me, because Ryan Williams did have the most receptions. He had 5, but Isaiah Horton also had 5, and Jeremy Bernard had 4. So if you get that kind of even distribution tomorrow, I think that's probably a good spot to be.
So, Molly, our Twitter poll question of the day today had to do with Vegas upsets.
Yeah, so which SEC underdog is most likely to pull off the upset this weekend? And this is based on Vegas odds. So will it be Mississippi State over Tennessee, LSU against Ole Miss, Auburn against A&M, or Alabama and Georgia? And right now winning is Alabama with about 40% of our voters. Auburn over Texas A&M is second with about 28%. LSU over Ole Miss with 24%, and then Mississippi State, Tennessee with about 8%.
So go vote on the Twitter poll question of the day. We will continue with your text messages. Bottom of the hour, we'll do some bet it or forget it for the week. This is a Football Friday. We're live at Twin Peaks. Come on by and see us, as a lot of our listeners are starting to make their way in here for a late lunch. We appreciate Mary, FSU Dave, Justin, all the other folks showing up today here at Twin Peaks. Hope to see you. This is Three Man Front on a Football Friday on Jocks. So on one of those screens here at Twin Peaks and Hoover, we're watching the Ryder Cup.
Silly Europeans.
Because there was a rumor going around that maybe Donald Trump was going to be on the bag of Bryson DeChambeau, but I don't see the president carrying the bag of DeChambeau.
What a beautiful day at Bethpage Black, though.
It was not that way this morning. It reminded me a lot of Birmingham this morning. You know, we had the fog and the rain. That's kind of the way it was this morning, but now it's turned out to be a really nice day on Long Island. Some heavy rough for sure.
Tommy, was that Fleetwood?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just did what I would do on that hole.
Can't miss Fleetwood with his wonderful mane.
He will need a drain spade to try to get that one out of the rough. That is nasty.
So the Europeans this morning, out of the 4 matches, 3 points. So the Americans, Xander Schauffele was able to save the Americans from being shut out this morning. So right now, DeChambeau and Griffin, they are tied with Rose and Fleetwood. So, but Mike Landrum said it's a beautiful-looking day up on the East Coast. I'm reading a developing story, and Conrad, I want to bring you in on this because I know you've seen a little bit on social media. I saw where Virginia Tech, there is a brouhaha that is developing with the Virginia Tech football program. As we remember, Brent Pry, he was fired a couple weeks ago, and so now Virginia Tech, and correct me if I'm wrong, Conrad, but they are now saying that they will void any NIL deal if anybody goes into the portal. Is that correct? Is that the general gist of what's going on there in Blacksburg?
Yeah, I think that's kind of the general idea. So I'll just read you what was shared by a sports lawyer. He goes by the name of Darren Heitner. He says that he's already been put on retainer by one member of the Virginia Tech football program. And so he put this on social media earlier this morning, and I'll just read it verbatim. I am shocked by Virginia Tech's untenable position that a decision to redshirt constitutes opting out and fraudulent misrepresentation under the NCAA bylaws, justifying immediate termination of scholarships and revenue-sharing payments under the House settlement. Redshirting is a standard practice to preserve eligibility, not voluntary withdrawal from a program, and schools cannot void revenue-sharing payments on pay-for-play grounds. I have been retained by a Hokies player to aggressively challenge this, and I'm happy to assist any others facing similar issues. That's the end of his post there. That's a sports lawyer. And so basically it sounds like if you're one of those players that says, hey, I'm going to redshirt, I want to maintain my eligibility because I play Virginia Tech and we fired our coach, it appears that Virginia Tech is looking at that as, all right, well, we're going to take away your scholarship and we're going to take away whatever NIL payments you are currently receiving, which I think we all know that is not going to end well for the Virginia Tech program.
Man, I never really thought about this scenario. I can see it from the Virginia Tech side.
Well, you need to field a team, right? You can't have everyone opting out. I get that part of it, but
no, and
you have to consider that, I guess, when you make the decision to fire a coach in the middle of the season now.
Yeah, but you still you have a coaching staff that's still in place, and man, I don't know. That's tough. That's actually a really, really good case. I don't think it's a really good story, though, if you're trying to attract a name head coach to come and take over that program.
Or do you think it's an attempt by the university to absolutely purge everything and everyone in that locker room, just like Deion Sanders did, because it can't get any worse in their opinion? And they've already admitted that they're going to raise their budget over the next couple of years by $30 to $40 million in regards to what they're going to spend in football.
So you're saying just create some roster space,
absolutely,
then go out and they can pay. That's a good theory too. I don't know, but that's tough.
Maybe they're not that smart.
I can certainly see it from the Virginia Tech side. We sold season tickets. Everybody starts opting out. All right, fine, but we're not going to pay you to opt out. We're not going to pay you to decide that you need a red shirt. A red shirt generally is an understanding, right, between the player and the coach.
Correct.
And it's agreed upon, and a lot of times parents are brought in and a decision is made. Initially, without knowing any more of the details, I can see the Virginia Tech side of things, especially where they are budgetarily.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. But basically, Virginia Tech is going to terminate revenue share deals to athletes who redshirt and transfer out of the program. So very interesting as Virginia Tech, all indications are they're going to have plenty of money to try to put forward to get themselves a pretty big name coach and maybe even perhaps go out and get themselves a roster. So we'll see what happens with Virginia Tech. So that's a developing story here on this Friday. We've been following the Ryder Cup. We also talked about last night's NFL game. Seahawks over the Cardinals 23-20. East Carolina victorious against Army 28-6. Tonight, some really good games. You got Florida State on the road in Charlottesville taking on the Cavaliers. Florida State a 6.5-point favorite. Number 24 TCU is taking on Arizona State. That's an 8 o'clock kickoff on Fox. Arizona State is a 3.5-point favorite. Meanwhile, the later game tonight at 9:30, it's going to be Houston taking on Oregon State, and that's, like I said, a 9:30 kickoff in Corvallis. Houston is almost a 2-touchdown favorite in that game against the Beavers. And, of course, the SEC slate begins bright and early tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. as Notre Dame, the Catholics, are in Fayetteville, Arkansas this weekend. I was on Brett Norsworthy's show yesterday, and Brett was asking me if I had heard anything about Sam Pittman. And as soon as Arkansas lost to Memphis, I reached out to a couple people I know and respect in Arkansas, and they seem to feel like Sam Pittman, unless just something happens, let's say Notre Dame beats them 40-0 tomorrow, that they believe Sam Pittman will be the head coach throughout the rest of the season. They don't see a scenario where they make a change in midseason.
No. If you've stuck with Sam Pittman, who we love, as long as you have, why not let him finish this season? I don't think that naming a Bobby Petrino or somebody else as an interim head coach is going to help that. Maybe they can get a big win. They got a great opportunity to go against a Notre Dame team that seems like they're struggling right now.
Yeah, and you go on the road and you play at a place like Fayetteville, and those fans, despite the disappointment that Arkansas is 2-2 right now and losing to Memphis after having an 18-point lead, those fans will be fired up tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
It'll be a good environment.
They will. And Arkansas still got an opportunity. You know, it was tough the way that they lost to Memphis, but this is an Arkansas team when they're playing well and Taylon Green is not throwing the ball to the other team and they're not turning it over. They can be a challenge, and that's going to be a test for Notre Dame, and that would be whatever Notre Dame is, it still would be a win over Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Inside of that stadium, and that will certainly help things before the Hogs jump back into conference play.
Also earlier this morning, we discussed briefly John Cohen's he released it on social media yesterday in which he gave his final thoughts on the officiating. And, Molly, you just sent me a tweet a minute ago. Steve Shaw, who is the NCAA Director of Officials, once a week they put out a video in which they bring out 5 plays that Steve Shaw discusses. And there were no plays, Landrum, from Auburn and Oklahoma. Imagine that.
No. So just skimming through it a little bit, I think you saw the SMU-TCU game. Missouri-South Carolina was on there. Nebraska-Michigan was on there.
What was the play with Raiola that he was talking about?
I think it was a false start.
Oh.
Again, I just kind of skimmed through the video. You had the Iowa-Rutgers game on there.
But there was nothing from Oklahoma and Auburn.
And no, nothing. And let me just tell you, you have both Oklahoma and Auburn fans in the mentions of that tweet.
Well, they should be.
Yeah, so you can imagine that's a fun time.
I mean, if you're gonna do a video, right?
Well, if you're gonna come out with a statement, like.
They should have just made the entire video only plays from that game.
Right.
Well, they could have filled it up.
Indiana, Illinois was on here. A lot of Big Ten.
I know one thing. If you caught the Bill Clark show last night, right here on Jocks, asked him about the officiating in that game,
Wisconsin,
and he
Maryland?
described the first half officiating as awful. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And that's coming from a coach that has been on the wrong end of a lot of that.
Yeah.
In his coaching career, right?
Yeah, he has.
Interesting slate, though, that we have this weekend, not only in the SEC, but across college football. This could be one of those shake-up Saturdays. I know it's obvious with the top 10 matchups we have, top 10 playing top 10, but Seattle, Washington hosting Ohio State,
A lot of single-digit lines on games that in years past it probably would be about 2 touchdowns.
Tennessee rolling into Starkville could be very, very interesting.
It's what we used to call in the old days Separation Saturday.
Separation Saturday. I remember those days.
But now it's too much like the NFL, so you can lose multiple games. It's no big deal.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of any. Indiana at Iowa. That could be very interesting. Indiana only an 8.5-point favorite on the road. Going to play Molly's favorite
What's the
school.
total?
The total in that game, Molly, is 48.5.
You got to play?
I don't know. We've seen a lot more points in the Big Ten this year, I feel like.
What's Molly's lock of the week?
Well,
I need a winner.
You'll have to find out in the next segment.
Oh, is that going to be one of your locks?
Sure.
One of the 5?
I can make it one of them.
Your Goldilocks locks of the week?
That's cute.
Oh, thought you'd like that. I came up with it 5 seconds ago.
Very nice.
Yeah.
All right, well, the aforementioned Bet It or Forget It that Molly was just referring to.
Shave your face if you're going to play in this country.
This is coming up next. We will get 5 games, and they will give us the winners, losers, or the point totals, whatever the case may be. That's next on 3-Man Front.
You're fired.
It is 12:30. Welcome back in. It's three-man front. We're live at Twin Peaks. It is great to see our Tuesday crowd is showing up.
Yes.
Love it.
High fives all around.
FSU Dave, BB.
Yep.
Good to see them coming by, enjoying a late lunch, listen to us talk sports.
How are we looking on the Ryder Cup? I know that we're still down 3-1. Any particular matches that you're looking at that are intriguing right now?
Oh, not particularly. I mean, the U.S., the Europeans in the morning session, they just jumped out quickly. And it was just too much for the Americans, even when they started playing better.
Well, it was already afternoon in their biological clock.
That's true. They were already a step ahead of us.
Yeah.
For sure.
Our boys are just wiping the sleep out of their eyes.
Yeah. Okay, so if you're new to this program, what we do every Friday, I give everyone on the show a list of 5 games, point totals, sides, and we let everyone pick their teams. And so far this year, let me pull up the standings, see where we are. Right now, with the lead is Landrum Roberts at 16-9 on the season against the spread. Conrad Van Order is 15-10 on the season. And in last place, with a 14-11 record,
Ooh.
Goldilocks.
Molly Robinson at 14-11,
Thanks,
but
guys.
she's still above 500,
Yes, I'll take that.
which is good. So this segment, we call it Bet It or Forget It.
The following is for entertainment purposes only. Listener discretion is advised.
Three-man fronts. Bet it or forget it.
All right, here we go, sports fans. Game number 1, Happy Valley, Pennsylvania, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. That will be the site of the Ducks. They're 3.5-point underdogs at Penn State. 51.5 is the point total. Ducks are 11-5 against the spread versus ranked teams in their last 16 games. Penn State has covered 3 straight off bye weeks, and Oregon is playing for the 5th straight week. Penn State is also 61-11 straight up at home in the last 11 years. So let's start with the leader in the clubhouse right now, Landrum Roberts. You going to bet it or forget it?
I'm absolutely going to bet it. What a huge game for Dan Lanning, the Oregon Ducks. Maybe a bigger game for James Franklin. Big game, James. I love Oregon in this matchup. I will take Oregon all day long, plus the points, and it go back to the bye week. 5 straight weeks, right?
Yep.
Playing a game. You maintain your edge. You maintain your focus. I don't know what they do in Happy Valley in off weeks, but it won't be enough. Give me Oregon.
Landrum takes the Oregon Ducks. Conrad Van Order, you're next up. Bet it or forget it?
Oh, I'm going to bet it, Pat, and I like calling these every week. This is my easiest pick of the week because I'm right there with Landrum. I think Oregon is going to cruise past Penn State. I'm just not there on Penn State. Their quarterback stinks. He's 106 in the country in QBR, and he's been there for 4 years, so he just kind of is what he is. Here's a few quarterbacks who have outperformed Drew Allard this year. DJ Lagway.
Oh, gosh.
Played
Oh, boy.
Cade Klubnik.
Woo!
Mark Gronowski at Iowa.
Yeah.
And Nico.
Gross.
These are all quarterbacks that have been significantly better than Drew Allard this year when it comes to total QBR. So, yeah, I think Oregon cruises. Penn State, overrated. Oregon big.
All right, Molly?
I hate to do this, but this is about to be a clean sweep. And I know, Pat, all those stats that you gave about Penn State being at home and their record
They've
against
only
the
lost
spread.
11 times, Molly.
I know, but this is James Franklin we're talking about. And keep in mind, this is a top 6 opponent here, top 6 game. He is 2-20 against AP top 6
what?
opponents. He is 2-20.
I didn't realize
That is awful. The Nittany Lions have dropped 14 straight against their opponents that rank in the top 6 of the AP
But they're
poll.
61-11 straight up at home, Molly.
I don't care. I'm rolling with Oregon.
Wow.
Nebraska ain't rolling in there, Pat.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
That's true. It's Oregon. Okay. All right. It's clean sweep. Everyone takes Oregon in the points. LSU Bengal Tigers. It's the Magnolia Bowl here in Oxford, Mississippi, Vaught Hemingway Stadium. The Rebels are a 1.5-point favorite. Ole Miss, the point total is 55.5. The home team is 11-1 against the spread with 7 straight covers. Ole Miss's number 9 offense, averaging 543 yards per game. Meanwhile, LSU has the 9th best defense in college football, only allowing 9.3 points per game. The total has gone over in 4 of Ole Miss's last 5 games. Let's start with Crimson Conrad.
It might be stupid, but when the head coach calls his shot, I'm going to go with him. I'm taking the over. I think there's a lot of points in this one. Ole Miss obviously has a good offense. LSU going to have to keep up with them, so I think they have a pretty good offensive performance. And while they have a good defense, I mean, they haven't really played anybody particularly great offensively this year. So I think Ole Miss can put up some points. I think LSU can put up some points. So I'm going to take the over, but I do think that the Rebels are able to pull out the win.
Miss Molly.
Conrad, I am with you on this one. As the wise words from Lane Kiffin said, take the over. And now we know why that Landry went over to go visit Witt, was because she was trying to throw off his sleep schedule and to mess up the defense so that Ole Miss can put up a bunch of points. This is just a recipe for the over, so I'm taking the over.
Get your koozies, get your T-shirts, get your napkins if you're the printing press. Get them ready. Save the date. Landry and Witt.
Already?
September 27th. Save that date. Why? It's the date that romance falls apart. They break up when the clock strikes 0. Why? Because the Ole Miss Rebels will absolutely have a time there in the SIP. Give me the Rebs minus the points over them Tigers.
All right, next game. Let's stay in the state of Mississippi, where the Mississippi State Bulldogs will be hosting the Tennessee Volunteers. The Volunteers are a 7.5-point favorite. Point total is 63.5. The Bulldogs are 4-0 straight up and against the spread, which means they have already cleared the regular season win total. Tennessee's last 8 games have all gone over the total. Both teams are ranked in the top 20 in pace on offense. So let's start with you, Molly.
I don't know if this is my bold prediction. I actually like Mississippi State to cover here. With this being at home in Starkville, this is Joey Aguilar. I believe this is his first road start at Tennessee. Let's just hope the cowbells don't get to him too much. I don't think Mississippi State will win. I mean, let's be honest. They're 4-0, like you said. They've already cashed in their win total for the year. What do you have to lose? I'm taking Mississippi State in the points.
How about you, Landrum?
I have been on this game all week. I got to see Tennessee up close and personal. Their offense is amazing, but offense doesn't necessarily travel a lot like defense. And I think Mississippi State, I love what I've seen from them so far. I think they are markedly better, both sides of the ball. I love State to cover, have a chance to win, hope they get it done, but give me State plus a 7.5.
Yeah.
How about you, Conrad?
Yeah, I like Mississippi State in this opportunity as well. However, I'm going to take my shot here. This is where I gain some ground. Give me Tennessee. Since Molly and Landrum are taking Mississippi State to cover, I'm going to take the Volunteers. I think they win the game anyways, but I'll take them plus the points, 7.5.
All right, next game, let's go to College Station, Texas, where the Auburn Tigers, they're a 6.5-point underdog against the Aggies. The point total is 53.5. Historically, since 1933, Auburn has won only 47% of its Southeastern Conference games. 47% since 1933. The home team has won and covered each of the last 4 meetings. Through 3 games, the Aggies have produced 20-plus gains on plays. So an explosive offense. So let's start with you, Landrum. Bet it or forget it.
I'm going to bet it. Difference is this Auburn defense, DJ Durkin, I think that this is one of the better Auburn defenses we've seen in quite some time. I like Auburn traveling in this spot. They know the importance of this game. Texas A&M coming off the bye week. Give me Auburn plus those points.
Conrad.
I'm right there with you, Landrum. I think this is going to be a hard-fought game. I think Auburn's going to have a great chance to win, and I do think they're fired up, want to prove something after last week against Oklahoma. However, I think they're good enough to cover the point spread, but I'm going to give a slight lean to Texas A&M at home. It's a revenge game for last year. They want to get payback for Auburn knocking them out of the college football playoff conversation and the SEC title game. So I'm going to take Auburn to cover, but I think Texas A&M wins 27-24.
All right, so you're going Auburn just like Landrum did, correct?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. All right, Molly, bet it or forget it.
I'm going to bet it, of course, and I like Auburn in the points here, but that's not going to be my official pick. I'm actually leaning the under in this one. I think Auburn's defense is going into a really good spot here, and I don't think we'll see sort of what we saw last year down at the Plains. It was a very high-scoring game last year. And I think Auburn will keep it close, but I think it'll be more of a defensive struggle overall. So I'm leaning the under.
All right, so Landrum and Conrad take Auburn and the points. Molly's taking the under of 53.5. The final game of the week, Alabama visits Between the Hedges against the Georgia Bulldogs. The point total is 52.5. For the purpose of this exercise, Alabama is a 2.5-point underdog, 2.5. Georgia is an abysmal 19, 34, and 1 against the spread in 54 home games as a home favorite under Kirby Smart. Let me read that again. 19, 34, and 1 against the spread under Kirby Smart there in the friendly confines of Sanford Stadium. Since beating Clemson in Atlanta to open last season, Georgia has gone 3, 12, and 1 against the spread. Bama is 2-4, both straight up and against the spread in 6 road games under Kalen DeBoer. So let's start with Miss Molly. You going to bet it or forget it?
I'm going to bet it, Pat. And you know what? 31-27, 31-27, 31-28, whatever. That just means that this is a recipe for the over. I'm hoping for a shootout down at Sanford Stadium. And looking back over their last 6 meetings, their games have averaged about 62 points. I think this is my lock of the week. I like the over in this one.
That's her lock of the week. The
I want some
Goldilocks lock of the week.
Goldilocks, lock of the week.
There you go. All right.
Over the total. What's the total?
52.5.
Okay.
All right. You going to bet it or forget it, Landrum?
Oh, is it my turn?
Sure.
I'm going to bet this one, Pat. Why not? Oh, the last time these two teams played on September 27th, which is the date tomorrow, was way back in 2008 with the Alabama Crimson Tide winning by a final score of 41-30.
Blackout.
This is a different year. It's a different time. I don't know what the final score will be, but this is a prove-it game for Kalen DeBoer and the Tide. They burned me in Tallahassee. I'm not going to let them do it again. Prove it to me. Go and win the football game. That being said, I'm taking Georgia minus the 2.5.
Ooh.
All right. Crimson Conrad.
Molly.
Mala, mala, mala.
I like Alabama in this game. I know that's going to shock a lot of people. I'll tell you this.
You could have just stopped it. I like Alabama.
I know, right?
We know what you're going to pick.
This is the closest I have ever been on this program and on this segment to picking a team to beat Alabama. I think Georgia is a fantastic team at home.
A lot of good kids.
33 straight home wins. But I think Ty Simpson is going to be better than Gunnar Stockton. Ty Simpson's going to have over 350 passing yards. They carve up the Georgia secondary, and Alabama wins 31-27, which means I'm taking the over just like Molly, because just like she had that stat, I was going to bring up that exact same stat.
Yeah.
They've scored a lot of points against each other lately. I think Alabama wins, but for the sake of this segment, I'm taking the over of 52.5.
All right, so just to recap, the 2 in-state games that we talked about. Auburn plus 6.5 against Texas A&M. Conrad and Landrum took Auburn. Molly took the under of 53.5. Meanwhile, the Alabama-Georgia game, Molly and Conrad both took the over of 52.5, where Landrum took the 2.5 points in Georgia's favor against the Alabama Crimson Tide. So I wish you all the best of luck. As you guys, we need a separation Saturday coming up.
Thank you, Game Wizard.
Like, we need you guys a little bit of separation between the three of you.
I'm all about it. Leave the other two in my dust.
But if you missed it, the Goldilocks Lock of the Week.
Lock of the week from Goldilocks. More porridge, please.
She says take the over. That's your lock, right?
That's exactly right.
In the Georgia-Alabama game. All right. Best of luck. We will roll on here from Twin Peaks in Hoover. Stop on by and see us. More of our listeners are stopping by and saying hello and grabbing a bite to eat. You can as well. This is Three Man Front on a Football Friday on Jocks. I can't wait till next week.
Oh,
FSU Dave is already laying the smack down towards Bama Hater. Oh, it's going to be great next week.
looks like that's where game day is going to be next week. I saw where I guess some Florida State students were leaking that they had received emails about signing up to attend college game day next
Just
weekend.
don't screw it up tonight, Florida State.
Yeah, it would be just like Florida State to lose to Virginia tonight.
Yeah, Dave.
And then next week it's just going to be
1995 all over again, Dave.
Yeah, I'm sure Dave remembers that. It was just, 30 years ago?
Yeah, Dave has selective hearing. Now he's chosen to engage.
Yeah, he's talking to Mary and
Beebe.
Yeah, he's ignoring us as we're making fun of his team.
How about our friends at Prize Picks? Prize Picks, best place to win cash while watching sports. You can join millions of users and sign up today. It's simple to play. You just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. Download the app today. Use code WJOX. You're going to get $50 in lineups after you play the first $5 lineup. That's code WJOX to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. We will go football from the collegiate ranks. How about tomorrow's game? It's a game that we're talking a lot about. You got Gunnar Stockton, Ty Simpson dueling at quarterback. How about this player projection, guys? Gunnar Stockton, according to our friends at Prize Picks, 0.5 passing touchdowns. All he needs is 1. More or less?
I'd say more.
Conrad?
More.
Conrad says more as well. Ty Simpson, 1.5 passing touchdowns. More or less?
Double it.
I don't think that's one of the options, but yeah, more.
Okay.
Do it.
We will max that one out. If both of those go more, then we win our player projection. You can be a winner too. Prize Picks, great way to have fun this football season, whether it's from the professional ranks, from college, across all sports. It's really fun. That's why so many Jocks listeners have gravitated towards it. Download the app today. Code WJOX. You're going to get that $50 in lineups after the first $5 lineup. You don't have to win to get the $50 in lineups. Prize Picks, it's good to be right.
So Dr. Shin, the famous orthopedic surgeon out in Los Angeles, California, he has been declared the savior of the Oklahoma football program. And yesterday, the Oklahoma Attorney General, Gittner Drummond, he issued the following: I hereby issue this official commendation of Dr. Shin for single-handedly saving John Mateer's season boomer. The commendation by the Attorney General of the state of Oklahoma reads as the following. Whereas Dr. Stephen Shin of Los Angeles' Cedars-Sinai Medical Center is widely considered one of the foremost hand surgeons in the United States, and whereas this remarkable surgeon has operated on many star athletes, including Drew Brees, Steph Curry, Jordan Love, Mike Trout, and OKC Thunder forward Jalen Williams, and whereas Dr. Shin successfully completed surgery September the 24th on University of Oklahoma quarterback John Mateer, who promptly declared his surgeon to be the GOAT, and whereas Dr. Shin has earned the gratitude of Sooner fans far and wide who have taken to celebrating his surgical acumen on social media. Therefore, I, Gittner Drummond, Attorney General of the great state of Oklahoma, do hereby recognize and commend Dr. Stephen Shin for his dedication, professionalism, and admirable commitment to helping ensure great football.
Am I missing a part of this story? What is going on out there? I know that this guy is world renowned. I've trust me, the last 2 days I've read his bio. That's great. Has John Mateer played any football post surgery? I'm sure his hand's going to be fine. But have we seen him play? And we've had so many surgeries on high profile players here in this state, specifically Alabama.
And we've never had this before.
Well, was there any question that it was going to be successful? Like, no, we got in there on the hand, and we figured out you got all kinds of issues.
Yeah, we
man.
had to take it off. Sorry.
Yep, sorry. You didn't need it,
he
did you?
even post in like the Oklahoma message boards as well, Dr. Shin?
That was a rumor.
Okay.
I mean, that might have been some Photoshop.
Is this tongue-in-cheek after the fact now, or is this legitimate? I know that's probably legitimate, but from the fans, are they just kind of playing it up like, yeah, we went kind of crazy with the successful surgery celebration?
They have been in the desert for so long, their football program.
Well, and now you have the team across the state, your rival. They're in disarray. They fired their coach. You got the stage to yourself.
I mean, they have made this guy.
I hope he's great when he comes back.
Thank goodness everything went okay during the surgery.
I want everybody who has John Mateer in Oklahoma on their schedule to get a healthy John Mateer.
What happens if he comes back and throws 3 interceptions in the first game back? Do you think Dr. Shin will
against Texas?
We'll start getting some interesting social media posts.
What did you do?
You ruined him.
You messed with his.
I thought he wanted 2 left hands.
Coming up next, we're going to talk some high school football with Kyle Parmalee from Starnes Media. That's next on Three Man Front.